The HBO series Chernobyl has really been something that has garnered quite a bit of attention right across the world. In terms of ratings, it's been up there, top-notch, top of the heap. And we have in studio Aoibhin Fallon, who has been watching this series and following this series over the last little while. So, Aoibhin, good to be talking to you.
Morning, Aoibhin.
Good morning, guys.
This kind of came out of nowhere. I think part of the reason for that is that it was a mini-series, so there was only 5 episodes. So by the time it started to garner talkability, it was nearly at the end.
Yeah, and funny for some reason, it caught my eye immediately once I got, because I get emails into my inbox saying what's coming up on Now TV, and once I saw that it was coming, I was like, oh, I must watch this. But it's funny, the amount of people that I've spoken to who've said, oh yeah, I saw that, oh, but the subject matter's too grim, I just couldn't go there, whereas me, out of just morbid curiosity, I would imagine, I just said, oh, definitely I have to watch this, and from episode 1 I was hooked.
Well, you're talking about something that's in our time.
Yeah.
What was it, 1984?
1986.
Thereabouts, yeah. So something well within our trajectory here, and something that is real, as real can be, and happened, and has ramifications that still will extend for centuries to come.
Centuries to come. And that's the thing about it, is because I think it has struck a chord with so many people, because like everybody, our generation anyway, and for quite a few generations, they've heard of Chernobyl, whether it's the Chernobyl children that come over to Ireland, and or whether people remember the whole C&D. I don't know if you all remember. I remember going around with the big C&D sticker, because Sellafield, of course, was over in the UK, and there was worries that if something happened in Sellafield, that it would be the same over here. So I remember in the 80s, C&D was really the cool thing, the stickers to have.
For people who are younger than 33 and don't know what we're talking about right now, Chernobyl was a massive nuclear explosion. There are a generation of people who were not born for this. So isn't that mad even to think about,
Yeah, it is, when it's still, as you say, as the ramifications are still going. So I suppose to give the story of it, Chernobyl was a nuclear power plant in Russia. So it was the Soviet Union at the time. Storyline starts with the factory itself is in a place, it was called Chernobyl, but it was in a town called Pripyat. And it tells kind of the story of the people living in this town of Pripyat, which was literally built for the factory workers. It was built to facilitate the factory workers. So all the firemen worked there, everybody who worked in the factory, they all lived in Pripyat, and it was basically built, as I say, to facilitate Chernobyl. So the explosion happens at like 1 o'clock in the morning in April 1986.
And this is the trailer.
All of the good we did, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that to them, justice was done. See, a just world is a sane world. There was nothing sane about Chernobyl. I'm pleased to report that the situation in Chernobyl is stable. In terms of radiation, I'm told it's the equivalent of a chest X-ray.
No. Chernobyl is on fire. And every atom of uranium is like a bullet, penetrating everything in its path. Metal, concrete, flesh. Now Chernobyl holds over 3 trillion of these bullets. Some of them will not stop firing for 50,000 years.
Tell me how to put it out.
You are dealing with something that has never occurred on this planet before.
So there you are.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, it's a brilliant trailer, actually. Even just listening to it, it really puts it in context, doesn't it?
So to give you the two voices that you heard in that trailer, the two main characters, one played by Jared Harris, who is fantastic in this. He was, I can't remember.
He's a great actor.
He's a great actor. I can't remember his character's name in Mad Men, but he was the English guy who came over to run the advertising company. He plays Valery Legasov, who's a real character, and the hero of this entire story. So we're seeing it from his point of view, and he was the one that was saying, no, this is serious. He was a nuclear scientist, a nuclear physicist, and he was trying to explain to them how serious and how long affecting this is going to be. So you have Jared Harris in there. You also have Stellan Skarsgård. So everybody knows Stellan Skarsgård. He's the father of the Skarsgård dynasty, and he plays Boris Sherbina, who was a member of Khrushchev's government, who at the start was like, it's fine, it's fine. He was the one that says, it's just a chest x-ray. So he travels to Chernobyl with Valery Legasov, Jared Harris' character, and he sees firsthand himself how serious it is. And the two of them team up, and they are the ones that bring the story to the rest of the world that this is fatal for thousands of people.
Do you know what? Even listening to the trailer, there's like a George Orwell novel. It's like Big Brother controlling the information that goes out about a situation.
Yeah, you have to understand that this was a very different Soviet Union.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very different Soviet Union where, you know, pride of country came before everything else. We cannot let the outside world know what's going on here. You know, we have it under control. It is under control. It is not serious. And that was the mantra that they just kept, you know, just like literally brush it under the carpet, which you can't do with something this serious.
Of course. And they failed to do it because, I mean, we might know exactly what happened, but if you ask anybody what was Chernobyl about, we all know it was a massive, massive disaster.
And this is the thing that, you know, I think, as I said, will resonate with our generation because everybody has heard of Chernobyl, you know, at a certain age. But I didn't realise how long-lasting. I mean, the town of Pripyat is still desolate.
It's a ghost town.
It's a ghost town. Now, there are people that have chosen to go and live there, but it is an exclusion zone. There's an exclusion zone around Chernobyl for thousands of miles. It's absolutely incredible. And the final episode is very good because there was a trial. There was a trial and people were brought to account. And you see that at the end. And people paid prices. Not giving anything away, but there were prices to be paid for the truth to be told. But at the very end, all this stuff comes up on the screen. And one of the ones that stuck with me is that still to this day, the Soviet Union said in 1987 that the death toll from Chernobyl was 31 people.
My God.
And they are still standing by that.
Wow.
Greenpeace reckon it was 93,000 people died as a result of Chernobyl.
There's a Waterford connection here too in terms of Liam Grant, a local man who has worked extensively in Chernobyl and dealt with the orphanage end of things there and has done incredible work, you know, in places that kids at certain points in the year had no more nutrition and were actually living on orchard apples.
Yeah.
You know, as a result of the fallout from all of this. You had
and when you say fallout, it's 30 years later.
This
you know?
is it.
Yeah.
33 years later.
3 years later. A couple of other actors that are in it. Speaking of Irish connections, Barry Keoghan is in it. You know, and he's quite a small part, and he doesn't say very much.
You'd know him from Love Hate, and he's done a lot of other things since. Yeah,
he's very good, and Jessie Buckley is brilliant in it.
She's the real rising star at the moment, isn't she? Or risen maybe at this stage. I hear an awful lot of talk. Is she a Wexford girl? Am I right?
She's from Killarney. She's from Kerry, but
Sorry.
her aunt is from Dungarvan. So there is a Waterford connection. I remember interviewing her before.
Yeah.
She was she went for the part of Nancy in that reality TV show in Oliver.
Yes.
Andrew Lloyd Webber did this, and she didn't get the part, but she was noticed. She was noticed, as I say, and she plays Ludmila Ignatenko, and she's the wife of a firefighter, Vasily Ignatenko, and there's actually a statue to Vasily Ignatenko because he was kind of the head firefighter. The firefighters went in, something like 30 firefighters died. They just went in and they were told, go in there and put out a fire. And they were literally standing metres from the core. So, I mean, they died within. They had to hope.
Just to wrap, this has gotten, like we said, it has beaten all ratings, user ratings on IMDb. I think it's got an average of 9.7, which anybody who's used to using IMDb will know is extremely high, higher than Game of Thrones and everything. Is it worth all the hype because it has become the most talked about show since Game of Thrones?
I'm always a little bit worried about hype because, you know, people come to it and they kind of go, oh, you know, it wasn't that good. I think it is... It's an incredible story. It is an incredible story. B, it's true. C, it is one that people our age know about. Like, I mean, me personally, I knew about it, but there was so much I didn't know. So to me, it was like, oh my God, I never realised that. I did not know that. I'm on my phone while I'm watching it, Googling to see what the actual real story is. And the best part about it is that the acting is superb and it's just so well made. It's a brilliant piece of television.
Should be compulsory watching from what you're telling me, really.
Do you know, when it finished, I said to myself, I really want to make my 16-year-old daughter sit down and watch it, but I'm just not sure if it will resonate as much with her.
And I've heard that that discussion as well. How will it resonate with people who haven't really heard of it or weren't born when it happened? Where can people find it? Because I know it's HBO, it won't be on Netflix. So where's the best? It's Now TV, you can stream it from.
If you've Now TV, if you're lucky enough to have Now TV, you can stream it automatically. It was Sky Atlantic. The last episode did go out this week, so I'm not sure if Sky Atlantic are going to be doing replays of
I
it.
think they probably will.
I'd say they would, yeah.
They know, they kind of know their market, don't they? Aoibhin, thanks a million. The show is called Chernobyl.
Thanks, Aoibhin.